Hi guys, an update video of how things are going with my knee. I should have really posted a short one last week, but I didn't really get time. I was at the hospital last Thursday. They done another MRI on my knee, and I still had the splint on, but they cleared us to like walk short distances without using the crutches, and they also put us onto the forearm crutches, which is a bit of a relief. Being there today got me results of the MRI. As I said in the last MRI, there was no ligament or tissue damage, further tissue up problems with my knee, and so they've took us out of the splint and put us in what they class as a post-op knee brace, which I've had on before. Actually, sometimes I have to wear it anyway because of the pain in the knee. And if I'm walking long distances, to use the forearm crutches. If I'm walking short distances, I can walk short distances without or use a stick. As you can see, I've got what the class is at the moment, lockdown haircut. You may have noticed I've got a splint on my wrist. Those of what have watched my videos in the past will know I've had problems with my wrists before. I've had problems with both of them. It's a touch of the carpal tunnel's flaring up, and it's also, as I said, I've strained it a little bit. The thing is just with using the crutches so much. So I was in I was in the splint, I think, about 4 weeks, I think. Just, no, sorry. Yeah, I was in it 4 weeks. Well, 4 weeks and a day. I originally injured my knee this time round on the 7th of May. I posted the video about that on the 8th of May, which is 4 weeks today, if I've got this right. 1, 2, 3, yeah, it was 4 weeks ago today. I've also, what else has happened? I've also had a checkup. I have to go every 6 months on my back, which I will have to do for a while yet. And that's doing great. Because he asked when I was there, I was actually there on, I've actually been at the hospital 3 times this week. I was there Monday for my back, and he asked if I'd had any, what he wasn't aware, obviously, because a different doctor. I'd have done my knee, and he's what you done. I said, I've dislocated. He said, how long are you in that for? I says, well, I'll find out this week, hopefully getting it off. And asked if it had caused any problems on my back, which it hasn't. Actually, it hasn't. And like the doctor sort of asked how my other knee had been, and I said, aches and pains, but I says, it hasn't really bothered us that much. And he says, had I using a support on it? I said, no. He said, what about your ankles? I said, no. Then he was asking about my wrist, and I said, well, I've had problems for about 10 years or more. I says, I said I had carpal tunnel, and I said, he's never had the operation. I said, well, it's not that bad. I said, just when it flares up, it's really, I was at the hospital again, as I said, like Monday for my back, Tuesday for the old ticket checkup and that, and that's doing great. They're over the moon with that. They've done the stress tests and all that as they do as part of your checkup, and that's going great, no problems whatsoever. My blood pressure's a-okay. They asked how much of this GTN spray I'm using. I says, not. I says, I haven't used it at all since in the last, I don't know, actually I couldn't tell you the last time I used it. I think I've used it about twice since I had my last heart surgery. I think anyway, I'm not too sure, to be honest. He asked if I was getting much shortness of breath, and I said, no. And he checked my peak flow over, because he said, has you had any problems with asthma? And I said, no, my chest, everything's fine. He said, oh, you're doing quite well then. So that's how things are going. As always, I'll show you getting around. As I say, if I'm walking long distance, like I thought if I went out shopping or anything like that, I'd have to use the crutches. I find if, like the other day I went up to the shopping, and took my crutches and actually just we were using the shop, I was putting them in that, and I found even with that after a while it was really sore, because I was putting obviously weight on it. Like the other night I went up to the pub, sorry, not to the pub, up to the pub actually, yes, but not obviously to go in because you can't get in, for like a takeaway, and I walked up without the crutches, and I just took my stick, and coming back it was really aching, like, but just one of them things that just will take time. As I say, like, considering my history with my knee, it's actually healed quite well. It's quite quick. Considering like my knee's pretty much cactus anyway. It's not no cartilage left in it, and ligaments are shot. Got arthritis in it. Although sometimes they say I have, sometimes they haven't. So sometimes it's just bad wear and tear. I don't know really. The MRI done today said there's arthritis there. This is considering this is the injuries you've had. It's not actually as bad as it could be. Like they're wanting to hang on as long as I can before they do like a knee replacement. I don't particularly want it, so as I say, I'll show you is getting around. And like when I'm sitting, I tend to either have my crutches with us, or sometimes I'll just have a stick to help us. So when I find I've been sitting and I go to stand up, getting up, it's like quite awkward. It's easier now I've got this on to what it was when I was in the splint. With the splint, the first 3 weeks I was wearing it, I had to wear it, the full 4 weeks I had it on 24/7, and the only time I took it off was if I was in the shower, and then I had to sit down. So that's how things are. So the second wrist is probably gone off because of using the crutches again. I don't know. I think it's just one of them. To be honest, I couldn't tell you the last time it really bothered us. So as always, see, like, I'm fully weight bearing on it now, so I'm fully weight based. Knee. That's what I've got on it. You'll have seen as wearing. Whoa, out. I can't really bend my knee very well. If I can bend it with, like, say, imagine that your knee, bend it about like that, enough to really walk. But I've had a splint on it for 4 weeks and a day. Like you said, I'll probably find it'll swell up a bit with not having a splint on now. He said you may or may not. So that's how things are going. If anyone's got any questions, as always, please feel free to ask. I will try to answer them. But that's how things are, and that's all for today. If anyone's out there is injured, please take care. Do remember you will get through the injuries. You do recover. Just listen to your doctor, listen to your body. I wish I'd done that when I was younger. My knees wouldn't be in the state they are now. Thank you guys. Over and out.